Greetings friends! Today I want to make an in-depth guide on how to kill Brutal Dracula solo in V Rising. The boss is located in the ruins of Mortium and you will require a blood key amulet in your inventory to enter the fight. This is the hardest fight in the game and you will have to make use of all available buffs like Witch Potion, Rage Potion, an elixir of your choosing and Chaos Coating for your weapon. Healing potions are not mandatory, but we will have time to use them, so get at least 10 Blood Rose potions just in case. If things go wrong and you lose too much health in the beginning, please do not be afraid to restart the fight. There is no harm in practice runs. The main weapon that we are going to use are the pistols, primarily because they offer us another dash that has invincibility frames. I recommend using at least a purple weapon with static infuse on its ability and have maxed bonus movement speed stats, as well as any other useful stats like veil cooldown, spell cooldown, physical power, etc. Second weapon is the bow, mainly for the third phase because we have to utilize the knockback from its skill, but also cheap range damage during one of the boss's mechanics. Speaking of stats, to make the fight easier, we will want to cap our attack speed modifier at 153% so we don't sit still for too long when attacking. For Stygian passives, we use Hunger of Blood, Ravenous Strikes, Rampage, Feral Haste and Turbulent Velocity. In case you don't have your attack speed capped, you can switch any of these passives for lightning fast strikes. All of the skills that I am using have maxed out tier 4 jewels, and in all the phases I used Veil of Blood as my dash. Our skills for the first and second phase are Chaos Barrier, Lightning Tendrils and Chaos Barrage. Chaos Barrier we use very often for blocking projectiles and melee attacks. Lightning Tendrils we use for damaging the boss and blood crystals that spawn in the arena. Before starting the fight, I recommend clearing out the debris from the room to maximize your mobility in the second phase. Not doing so might get you in trouble when dodging the blood arrows. The most damaging attacks is when Dracula throws two spinning red blades at you like a boomerang. This can hit multiple times and shave off half of your hit points if you're not careful. They can be blocked by a pillar or blocked by Chaos Barrier, so out of all the attacks you have to put some respect on this one. Most of the time, if you get hit by this attack, you will have to restart the run. Dracula will throw 2 slash attacks at you at first and 4 attacks starting with the second phase. The safest option is to use the barrier and do some damage. He also does a charge attack that will spawn 5 blood slashes in the directions displayed while the boss charges it. To avoid this, it is ideal to be behind the boss because you'll have time to damage him. You can also easily dodge them by standing in medium range and watching for the arrows indicating where the slashes will appear. Using Chaos Barrier will nullify the slashes but not the initial charge attack. If you sit in the red circle, you will get damaged even with the barrier up. Easiest attack to dodge is the teleport behind plus thrust that Dracula does. This can be sidestep, sometimes he will transform into a wolf and do the same thing. Using a dash trivializes this mechanic, but it is ideal to just sidestep it to do a little bit of extra damage. Another important mechanic is when Dracula disappears and spawns blood bats to charge the tube. They are easily killed with a single shot, but it's important to not pay too much attention and move around the pillar to make it easier to dodge. However, it is necessary to save a dash because in 10 seconds Dracula will appear and try to suck your blood, so do not panic and use a dash even if a bat is about to hit you. Use the barrier if you think you'll not be able to move out of the way instead. Getting hit twice by this attack will remove your blood and you will have frail blood for the remainder of the fight. It is not the end of the run, but it's going to make it much more difficult. One more important mechanic is when Dracula channels a red circle around him and starts spawning blood shards in 3 directions. If you position right, it is ideal to be around the pillar to block them and do a little damage in the meantime. You will either have to dodge out to the circle or wait for him to finish channeling and move to melee range. When the circle reaches the boss, it will no longer damage you and you can just move out. Upon damaging the boss to 50% health, you will enter phase 2, where he will teleport in the middle of the arena, break all the pillars, channel a spell and begin to spawn blood crystal. While he's channeling his spell, you can get a little damage, but it is important to focus on dodging the incoming projectiles. I recommend moving as far as possible to the arena to have the best chance of dodging the blood shards. Just moving left to right is enough. The closer you are to him, the harder it will be because they will start homing to you. Here we can use the barrier if necessary. The blood crystals he spawns have a red circle around them, so we'll have to dodge to get in range to do damage. If you just walk through, you will get slowed and damaged. It is important to clear them, otherwise the arena will have no space for you to dodge the blood shards he is going to throw at you. However, if Dracula has low health, you can ignore them and focus on finishing the phase because they will disappear upon entering the third stage. Another mechanic is when he makes it rain swords on you. Here we have to stay calm and move out of the red circles. We will encounter this mechanic again in the last phase. Our skills for the third phase are Void, Lightning Tendrils and Chaos Barrage. This phase is arguably the most annoying part because it is a DPS check and we will have to kill most of the incoming servants that want to kill Dracula. Failing to kill them will heal the boss for a percentage and also spawn an enemy monster attacking you. However, it is not necessary to kill all of them, just try to kill all that you can. Taking too long to kill them will make you not be able to attack the heart of Dracula that will definitely heal the boss to full if left unchecked. We'll have to switch to bow and use its skill to push enemy back whenever the multi-shot is ready. The pistols also have a way to push enemies with its ability, but comes out much slower and also we need to spam Lightning Tendrils and Void as soon as they came off cooldown. The Void slightly displaces the servant, so it's ideal to cast it in a slightly behind them fashion. Whenever you have the opportunity, use the feat to instantly kill any low HP servants, but beware, this has a cooldown and cannot be spammed. After all the servants have perished, the heart of Dracula will be available to damage. This is where we use our ultimate and try to damage it as fast as possible. Upon reaching 20% or so health, you will be able to feed on the heart, granting you the best blood in the game, Dracula's blood. While feeding on the heart, you will need to be quick and switch your ultimate to Raging Tempest and your skills to Cold Snap and Blood Rite. Having 2 counters is pretty much mandatory for the upcoming phase. I can't stress enough how important jewels are for making this fight easier, because we need all the damage and extra defenses we can get. For the 4th and final phase, it is the test of reaction time and endurance. The It is important to not panic and be confident in your cooldowns. The block that we just got will allow us to recast our counters multiple times, so every time you see a red shard approaching, you either have to dash through or use a counter. It's of utmost importance to stand directly on top of the boss to do damage with these counters, and also chip in as many primary attacks as possible. Swords will begin spawning at you, dealing damage in an area, and you can counter them, but they can be dodged by walking around. Dracula will pulsate waves that push you away into danger. Sitting outside of the safe zone area will result in a death. This is why Blood Rite is so good, because it offers a way to be immaterial and not get pushed when we use it. Sometimes you will be able to squeeze through the projectiles and there is no need to use any dash or counter, allowing us to do extra damage. The more we sit in this fight, the more debuffed we will become, and if enough time passes, even one bad dodge or key press can end the run. Remember that every time you dodge, your next attack will heal you for a little bit, so please make good use of that. And with all this information, I am sure you'll be able to kill Brutal Dracula solo. It's important to persevere and not give up. It took me 2 days of trying, but I finally did it, and the dopamine hit at the end is awesome. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a marathon, brother! Let's go! Let's go! Thank you, Luke. Thank you very much. Ah, this feels awesome.